Although Tyson Fury has proven himself the best heavyweight class fighter, a newcomer may soon challenge him. Jared Anderson, only 23 years old, already has a very strong professional resume that includes 13 fights and knockouts. Anderson's promoter, Top Rank founder Bob Arum, is so pleased with the fighter's development that he thinks Anderson will soon be ready to face Fury, the current champion of the division. Let's jump into the video to find out more. First up, Bob Arum impressed with the progress of young fighter Jared Anderson. One of the heavyweight division's most influential power punchers, Anderson is growing in status. His promoter, Arum, said, "I have my kid, who's not quite there yet, but by 2024, he'll be ready, and that's Jared Anderson, and that will sell out the big stadium in Las Vegas." Arum went on talking about Richard Torres, a potential top-rank heavyweight prospect, but he doesn't believe that he's quite as good as Anderson. He was asked if Anderson and Torres were to go on to win the glamour division of boxing. Arum responded, "Certainly, Jared Anderson. Torres, in his opinion, is a fantastic prospect, but he's still in that stage," whereas Arum believes the boxer has transitioned from a potential prospect to being a strong contender. According to Arum, Anderson will be prepared for Fury in 2024 and might go up against White next. He said that there's something special about Anderson, so he'd put him in with anyone. As for Richard Torres, he's still very young and began his career after Anderson, so the promoter hopes he'll have the same kind of talent and charisma in the future. Anderson called out some of the strongest competitors in the division after his most recent knockout victory over Jerry Forrest in terms of his next move as he prepares for a potential fight with Fury in 2024. When asked who he wanted to face next in the post-fight interview, Anderson responded that all the big names, those who are ranked, all of them. Anybody who is among the top 15 in the WBC, WBO, or WBA. Filip Hrgović, Francisco Sanchez, Daniel Dubois, and Dillian White, Matthew Hunter. He's coming after all. Next up, Arum thinks Jared will become the top contender for the heavyweight title in 2023. The most promising heavyweight prospect in America this year has been Jared Anderson, but 2023 will be much greater for him since his promoter Bob Arum wants to take him to the top of the division and market him in the UK. Following his recent victory over Jerry Forrest, promoter Bob Arum predicts that Jared Anderson will become a true top contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Before this month, he boxed, taking on Forrest, a gatekeeper who had fought Carlos Takam and Kubrat Pulev for 10 rounds, and drawn with Michael Hunter and Zhilei Zhang. Although Arum admits that finding opponents for Anderson is difficult, he still anticipates getting him in the ring against the right rivals. He noted that money always finds a solution. In his opinion, he thinks a lot of men are going to try Jared. He believes that Jared has done really well so far, and he expressed his delight at the player's exceptional career growth. Arum is also quite intrigued by the idea of taking Anderson abroad to perform for a UK audience. He stated that the kid is immensely talented and will surely shine in his career next year. The CEO was of the view that the players must be transported to the UK. He said he would like to promote these athletes since it's such a large market there. He compared it to the way most British fighters have always desired to travel to the US to be showcased for their skills. He also added, the UK is becoming a major market for boxing. Following up, will there be a shortage of opponents to compete against Jared? As Anderson works to ensure his own chance at becoming a world champion, it might be difficult to find opponents who can compete with him. Numerous top boxers, including Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, have been set up by Arum's promotional business for significant contests the following year. The CEO said that we must make sure that once guys reach the top, you must recruit the following group. He thinks Top Rank has the best pool of emerging talent in boxing. They have his utmost admiration. The seasoned promoter added that the kids being highlighted, along with others, are fantastic. He also said Xander Zayas is really starting to get famous and has his A game on. He was excited to see how these guys progress in the future, due to the fact that he witnessed their first professional fight and watched them grow. He almost feels paternal toward them. It's like a parent looking at his kids and going, they grow up too fast. Tyson Fury, the WBC champion, and Alexander Usyk, the WBA, IBF, and WBO champion, have agreed to a battle for the undisputed championship next year. What's more, some fans think Anderson is too young and inexperienced to win the title. When Forrest clipped him early on, Toledo's Anderson destroyed him in just 2 rounds by launching an unrelenting barrage of blows. Yet the boxer was prepared to advance. Some fans posted on social media that Anderson was yet to prove that he was worthy of the title. They said he should compete in at least 7 more challenging fights before getting in the run for next year's title. Fans are known for observing each tiny movement of the players. Others said the player took some clean punches when he was in the southpaw stance. They added that maybe that's why TR matchmakers keep him fighting C+ guys until his team resolves that issue. One critic shared that they didn't like what they saw in the player's last fight. They said Jared got hit, like a lot, and became flush. They said the 26-year-old made some real rookie mistakes and was even in danger of blowing his load early to force a knockout. They also added that the boxer's head movement really showed room for improvement and could be much better, but they were impressed by the athlete's ring generalship. While some people thought that Anderson was just a baby right now and predicting such big accolades for him was unrealistic, there were some different opinions. One person said that it makes more sense when we say more work at the journeyman level, as a fight with someone a bit more dangerous might not be the right option right now in his career. Looks like fans have made up their mind about the athlete's career progression, and some even think fame should not come too soon for him. As if age has ever stopped anyone from achieving great things in life. Next up, there's a lot of unfulfilling potential in the heavyweight scene. The heavyweight scene has a lot of unfulfilling potential. Alexander Usyk, the rival of WBC champion Tyson Fury in the WBA, WBO, and IBF, has yet to be faced. Instead of the fascinating fight with Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua appears to be leaning towards a rematch with Dillian Whyte. Joe Joyce possesses all the traits of a champion, but is kept out of the most important fights. Yet to have a chance to defend his former crown, Andy Ruiz Jr. There are conflicts there, but they haven't happened yet. At heavyweight, one must look a little further down the pecking order to discover genuine excitement. A new generation of big boys is ready to fight for the crown, while the box office rulers are carefully shifting around on their thrones. Let's look at the heavyweight championship future players at the top of their game. First, there's obviously Anderson. The 23-year-old sensation is one of several American heavyweights with the strange nickname Big Baby, yet is nothing like a child. When Anderson defeated Jerry Forrest in 2 rounds last weekend, he passed a crucial test. Slugger has only ever been defeated once and had recently held Michael Hunter and Zhilei Zhang to a draw. In his previous fight, the 34-year-old had forced former world title title contender who brought Pulev to go the distance. But Anderson easily defeated him. Over the upcoming year, anticipate the native of Ohio to become even more prominent. We also can't leave Jermaine Franklin off the list. A boxer who recently suffered a loss wouldn't typically be on this list. However, Franklin's majority decision defeat to Dillian Whyte in their most recent match was more beneficial to the loser than the victor. Franklin engaged a world-class opponent in the fight, and many believe Whyte benefited from a somewhat local decision. Many fans' desire to see Whyte return to pay-per-view main events was sated by the bout, while the 989 assassin experienced the opposite reaction. Franklin gained notoriety by demonstrating he could compete with a fighter who had recently fought for Fury's WBC championship. His upcoming bout is certain to garner a lot of interest. Lastly, these are the names of the top players to watch out for in 2023. This year, the unbeaten Russian has faced tougher opposition. In his most recent two matches, Makhmudov defeated former title contenders Carlos Takam and Mariusz Wach. This Friday's match versus Michael Walisz will mark the end of 2022 for him. Walisz has appeared alongside individuals such as Joe Joyce, Tony Yoka, Murat Gassiev, and Efe Ajagba. He was eliminated by all four. With a similarly catastrophic victory, Makhmudov can demonstrate that he belongs at that level. Maybe he can face some of those fighters the following year before moving on to title contention. Frazer Clarke is next on the list. Despite being 31 years old, Big Fraze is practically just starting out as a professional. The Olympic bronze medalist spent the majority of the year stomping on journeymen with the softest of touches. All three of his initial fights ended before the end of round 2. However, Clarke will have learned more about the professional game during his fourth and final battle of 2022 than from his first 3. He is a road warrior of a unique caliber. Kamil Sokolowski is among the upcoming names of heavyweights to look out for. A majority of notable British heavyweights have fought alongside him. Sokolowski defeated former WBA heavyweight champion Lucas Brown by knockout, faced Dillian Whyte in his second fight, and outlasted top-tier Otto Wallin until the 8th round. Although Clarke struggled at times, he beat Sokolowski by decision after 6 rounds, and he learned a lot along the way. There's so much happening in the heavyweight scene. We hope we get to see a lot of amazing championships next year. That's a wrap for this video. Would you like to know more about the top fighters to look out for in the heavyweight scene? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.